Fox News obtaining secret documents showing that Sergeant Bergdahl at one point escaped for several days and that his relationship with his captors morphed over time from prisoner locked in a metal cage to playing soccer with militants.
And that's just the surface of this. Now, James Rosen's been way out in front reporting all this all week. And James, good morning to you. You put together a detailed timeline of Bergdahl's 5 years in captivity. And from that timeline, what have you learned about it?
Bill, good morning. These are real-time dispatches from a Pentagon subcontractor called the Eclipse Group, a private intelligence firm previously retained, for example, by the New York Times to help find a Times reporter who had been held hostage in Pakistan. These Eclipse Group situation reports, or SITREPs, offer our most detailed view yet of Sergeant Bergdahl's life over the last 5 years. These documents show that as early as October 2009, just 3 months into Bergdahl's captivity, the Haqqani terrorist network began exploring a prisoner swap for him. But the reports show that Mullah Sangin, the Haqqani commander who oversaw the 200-man team that kept watch over Bergdahl, preferred ransom instead. Towards the end of his first year in captivity, Bergdahl made a break for it, but he was recaptured after 5 days, returned to Shawal in North Waziristan, and within a month's time was installed in a specially constructed metal cage like an animal. By early 2012, the Haqqani terrorists had begun pressing ransom demands. And in August 2012, the last of these SITREPs, Bergdahl was said, in a purported eyewitness account, to have converted to Islam, to have declared himself a mujahid, or warrior for Islam, and was observed firing AK-47s in target practice with his captors. Bill.
James, senators were briefed on this. Were they briefed on this specific material? And if so, they were given what appears to be somewhat of a slightly different story. Clarify that, James.
Yeah, apparently they were not briefed on this and given a very different story. The question now is how high up the chain of command did all of this reporting by the Pentagon subcontractor go? Tony Blinken, the White House Deputy National Security Advisor, when asked about Fox News' reporting, and specifically Bergdahl's alleged declaration of mujahid, told CNN, quote, "We have seen no evidence of that." And he went on to lament the supposed trial of Bergdahl in the court of public opinion. A leading Senate Republican voice on national security issues told our Megyn Kelly last night that Wednesday's classified briefing on the case, conducted in part by White House officials, contained no such details either.
The substance of this report that you've reported, I've asked questions that are specifically on point, and the answers that I got directly contradict or dispute what you have been reporting this evening. So clearly, if this happens to be true, we've got a very serious problem with the administration misleading members of Congress.
But the Eclipse Group's chief operating officer told Fox News he forwarded these SITREPs in late 2010 to the private email address of then Brigadier General Robert Ashley, who at that time was Director of Intelligence at U.S. Central Command, or CENTCOM. We're still waiting for General Ashley to get back to us. The head of CENTCOM at that time, General James Mattis, now retired, told us he never received these SITREPs as described, but may have received bits and pieces of the intel in other form. And Mattis went on to stress there was no evidence of Bergdahl as a collaborator, but he said much of the details in these reports, read to him over the phone by me, remain classified. Bill.
All right, James, thank you. James Rosen, incredible story. And more to come, too. James, thanks, out of Washington.
Thank you.
All right,